Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What's for Dinner video. If you're new here, my name is Jess and I'm a stay-at-home mom of two. And on this channel, we like to share all kinds of good food and family fun. All of our meals are easy to make and budget friendly. So if you're interested in some delicious dinners, stick around, hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe. And let's get to the video. For the first dinner of this video, we're starting off with a sausage and pesto lasagna. So for this lasagna, we're going to use a pound of mild Italian sausage. You can use spicy or whatever you like. And we're just going to get this browned up with some salt and pepper. For our cheese mixture, we don't really have any measurements for this because we just kind of used whatever we had in the fridge and this turned out delicious. So we're throwing in about half a cup of feta cheese. We're going to throw in some shredded mozzarella and Muenster cheese. And then we're going to throw in about a cup of cottage cheese. And to that, we're going to add in 2 eggs, some salt and pepper, some dried parsley, and some Italian seasoning. We'll just get this all mixed up really well and then put this to the side and get started on our sauce. Our sauce is also super simple. We have a couple of tablespoons of butter melting in our pan, and to that we'll add about a tablespoon of minced garlic, some salt and pepper to taste, some onion powder and seasoned salt, and then we're going to add in about 1/4 cup of jarred pesto, about a cup of heavy cream, and about 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Once our sauce was all done, we're going to start putting our lasagna together. We're using the no-boil noodles. So we're going to put a little bit of sauce in the bottom of a 9x13 baking dish, and then we'll start laying on our pasta. We'll follow that up with about a third of our cheese mixture and a third of our Italian sausage. Now we're going to add on about a fourth of our sauce, and then we'll start layering this. We're going to do 2 more full layers with the noodles, cheese mixture, sausage, and sauce. The final layer is our noodles, followed by half of our shredded cheese from earlier, and the rest of our sauce. And we just baked this according to the package directions for the noodles. I think it was about 350 for 45 minutes. This turned out delicious. We just served this with some cheap made-at-home garlic bread and a big salad on the side. Next up, we're making some teriyaki chicken lettuce wraps. So in our crock pot, we have 2 chicken breasts that were still frozen, and we're just going to add on about half the bottle of this island teriyaki sauce. We just cooked this on low for about 6 hours. We took our chicken out and chopped that into smaller pieces, and in our crock pot we have the leftover sauce and juices from the chicken. To that we're going to add in a little bit of honey, some brown sugar, some rice vinegar, soy sauce, and a cornstarch slurry. We didn't really measure this either, just throw in what looks good. It's going to be delicious. We threw our chicken back in the crock pot and just let that keep simmering until dinner time, probably about another hour, so that that cornstarch could thicken up that sauce. And that was pretty much it for this dinner. Now all we have to do is get all of the rest of our ingredients gathered. So here is our island teriyaki chicken all finished. And to go with this, for our lettuce wraps, we have some wonton strips, some sunflower seeds. I'm going to put some seaweed in mine. We have some shredded radish, cucumber, and carrots. We have some sliced green onions. And then I made some sushi rice, and if I can find the recipe I used for that, I'll link that down below. And this is the lettuce we'll be using for our lettuce wraps. So here's everything all set up. Everybody could just make theirs the way they wanted to. On mine, I have the sushi rice, the chicken, some green onions and seaweed, all of the shredded veggies, and some sunflower seeds. This turned out so delicious, and this doesn't look like a lot of food on this plate, but man, these things will fill you up. Next up, we're making my version of Texas chili. I have half a package of bacon that I'm going to chop up and brown in my skillet, and then I'm going to take that bacon out and save the drippings. Once my bacon was browned, I'm just throwing in the meat that I'm using. Normally I would use stew meat or some kind of chuck roast or something, but this cubed beef was on sale at H-E-B, so I'm just using this. It's basically the same thing, just cut up smaller. So I'm going to get this browned in the bacon grease, and then we'll get this in the crock pot. For the sauce, we're going to be using some of these chipotle peppers in adobo. So I'm going to use about 2 or 3 small ones of these. It depends on how spicy you want it. And I'm also going to cut these open and take out the seeds. And I'm also going to use a little bit of the sauce. So to my little food processor, I added those couple of chilies I was using and a little bit of the sauce, and then I'm going to pour in some of my beef broth just to add some liquid so we can blend these up. Alright, so in my crock pot I have that chipotle pepper blend that I blended up in my food processor, and I'm adding in my bacon, and I just drained my beef on some paper towels, and I'm going to add that to the crock pot. To this, I'm adding in about 1 can of tomato puree and about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'll also type this recipe out in the description box if you want to check that out. Next, I'm going to add about a tablespoon each of Worcestershire sauce, some molasses, and some brown sugar. So the rest of this got all kind of mixed up, but I used an entire carton of beef broth, so about 4 cups, and I just seasoned to taste with some salt and pepper, dried oregano, some coriander, chili powder, ground cumin, some garlic and onion powder, and some paprika. I also threw in about half a tablespoon of some beef bouillon powder, and then I'm going to throw in a cornstarch slurry. I just put this on low and let it cook all day until dinner time, and we also threw some baked potatoes in the air fryer. This was so delicious. I topped mine off with some shredded cheese, sour cream, onions, and jalapenos, and we had those baked potatoes on the side, and this was a perfect dinner. So we didn't actually eat this in the same week, but I thought I'd throw it into this video in case you make that chili and have some leftovers. Or you can do it this way. This is just a fun little movie night kind of treat for dinner. We have some canned chili and some Rico's nacho cheese. And we also have small bags of Fritos, some regular and the chili cheese. And we're going to make some walking Frito pies. This will always remind me of like going to the skating rink or football games or whatever. This is just a fun little way to eat some Frito pie, and this would also be really good for camping. So for toppings, we just have the usuals, some onions, jalapenos, sour cream, and shredded cheese. This is super simple. Just be careful if you have little ones because these bags do get hot. We're just going to cut up the side of the bag and open it up and add in our chili and nacho cheese. After that, everybody can just add on the toppings they like and mix it up in the bag. So simple and so good. Obviously, no, this is not good for you. It's canned chili, but there's nothing wrong with a little treat every once in a while. And the boys had so much fun making these, and when we go camping, we are definitely going to bring these along. And for the final meal of the week, we're making my version, or our version now, of Maid-Rites. Now, I know actual Maid-Rites from the restaurant do not have rice in them, but this is how my grandma made them, and my mom made them. Well, I don't know exactly how they made them, and they're not around to ask anymore, but I know they had rice in them, and I remember carrots, so I'm pretty sure they used chicken and rice soup. But since I didn't know, and I wanted to have them, years ago I started making them this way, and so this is just how we make them now. I'm sharing this again just because my dad and my sister were asking if I knew the actual recipe for them, and I don't, but here, Dad and sister, here's how I make them. So I have 2 cups of cooked rice, and then we're going to brown up 1.5 pounds of ground beef. We just seasoned our beef with some salt and pepper and Tony's Creole. You can season this however you want. Next up, we're adding in a can of the dreaded cream of chicken soup. If you don't like this, you could totally make it homemade. But with this amount of meat, I actually needed 2 cans, but we only had 1, so imagine I put 2 in here, just for recipe's sake. So we're adding in our cream of chicken, a little bit of water, and then we're going to add in our rice. And you can season this some more if you think it needs some more. And then we'll just get this all mixed up and let it simmer for a couple of minutes until everything's warmed through. And this is our burger topping. So you can serve this just as it is. It's perfect on its own, or you can top it with whatever you like. I like to top mine with some diced onions, some pickles, and mustard. We just had these with some French fries on this night, and they were so delicious, and they totally bring back my childhood. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Also, subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any future dinner videos, and we will see you guys in the next one.